All right, we move along. Baylor and Utah. Here we go. A little Big 12 action here. Utah 14-point home favorites, 53.5 being the total here in this game. The money's come in on Baylor. How about that? You want a little interesting development? This actually opened Utah 17-point favorites at home, and Baylor's taken some of the early money. Cam Rising is first action in a very long time at quarterback for Utah against Southern Utah, and he looked solid. And you see just the difference he makes. They got zip at the quarterback spot last year. The production was putrid once he got hurt for Utah, and then you get him back, and all of a sudden that offense looks great again. So 49-0, they shut down Southern Utah. We know they're going to be good in the trenches because Kyle Whittingham teams are always outstanding in the trenches, without a doubt. You should see that again here in this matchup. Meanwhile, you look at Baylor, 45-3 against Tarleton State. I don't want to go too, again, berserk over how good they were in that game. They were impressive, and DeQuan Finn, the Toledo transfer, we were going to see, could he fit this offense well? Solid debut. 2 interceptions, though, I will say that. And that's sometimes the issue with DeQuan Finn, is those turnovers and those bad decisions sometimes throwing the football. But, they had a pretty solid game on the ground, 164 rushing yards through the air, 278 passing. Again, though, Tarleton State at home, and now you got to play Utah on the road, one of the strongest home field advantages in all of college football. Now, last year, these teams played at Baylor. Bit of a tricky spot it was for Utah. But Utah went there, got the job done, and won 20-13 on the road. But again, you're talking about Bryson Barnes and Nate Johnson were the quarterbacks that day for Utah, and neither of those guys is even anywhere close to what Utah has with a healthy Cameron Rising back at the controls. So bottom line is, look, I'm not ready yet with Baylor. Okay, Tarleton State doesn't do it for me. That does not. You are going on the road now against a team that could win the Big 12 and a team that is one of the best home field advantages in all of college football. If this thing drops further and it gets below 2 touchdowns, I'm laying it with Utah. I'll just say that right now. C-Mac, what do you think?
Took the words right out of if this goes below, I get the initial look if you want Baylor a little bit. And these are big step-ups for Finn. He's playing some of these bigger teams now this year. We'll see how it goes. You mentioned just last week against the lower Tarleton, he threw a few picks. We know how dual threat, the guy is definitely solid. That game, was that tricky spot last year, and Utah couldn't move the ball, and Baylor covered in that 2013 game. I think that was the spread 7.5 in that or something like that.
I think it was close to that. Yeah, it was.
And they just covered.
Right on the number. 7.
Okay.
Yep, good call.
Right on the number. Something we talk about it. Usually I don't late, but at Salt Lake, at home, this is where I want Utah. It's just week 2 here. What do we get? Cam Rice looked really good. Southern Utah beat up little brother from down the road. But under 2 touchdowns, I don't want to lay too much, but at home, they're a team that's come through consistently. It's just so early in the year. So that it's going to be a look for me too. Maybe if this continues to drop in this one.
Yeah, I worry because Utah has always had a ball hawking secondary too. How many times have they picked off quarterbacks? And they've made the likes of Bo Nix and some other really good quarterbacks in that building look bad and interceptions. DeQuan
it's a hostile place to play for sure.
Interception prone. I don't think he's the most accurate quarterback. Great athlete. He can make the shorter throws, but I still think accuracy wanes from time to time with DeQuan Finn throwing the football. And that's something that would concern me here on the road for Baylor going into this game. And by the way, too, I want to point. I got to go back and look at some of these results for Baylor against some of the just last year. Look at some of these games here at the end of the year. They lost by 34 at Kansas State. There's a comparable. They lost by 25 at TCU on the road down the stretch last year, Baylor. So there's 2 comparables right there, TCU and Kansas State, where they got their doors blown off on the road. I don't agree with this move, and looks like Connor Mack is in the.
Let's see if this defense is any better.
Yeah,
for Baylor.
That's right. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Aranda has not exactly gotten this defense playing at the level we expected, considering defense is his background as a coach. All right.